Guys, what's poppin'? It's your man AB tapping in. I gotta tell you about today's sponsor, Beard Organics. Look, it took Lou 49 years, but he finally was able to grow a beard, but he's doing the smart thing and he's taking care of it, all right? When he goes to the barbershop, he brings his kit from Beard Organics with him. First things first, you gotta use the beard wash. It is no point in doing all this extra work if your beard ain't clean. The foundation gotta be right. Next thing, you gotta hit it with the conditioner. That's gonna make it soft, and trust me, your lady friend will thank you. This is all natural and organic ingredients, so you ain't gotta worry about your face breaking out or no other weird stuff happening. Lastly, you gotta hit it with the beard oil. A couple of drip drips here, drip drip there, and when that light hits your beard, it twinkle and glisten. When you step out, people gonna ask you, yo, where did you get your beard products from? You can point them straight to beardorganics.com. Don't forget, let them know if you buy 3 items or more, you get an extra 20% off. So I don't know what you waiting on, but go to beardorganics.com. They got products and accessories. Go and get yourself right and let them know on deck sent you. Hey, what it do with the business is?
It is another week in the books with the On Deck TV show. I am Spike Lou.
Man, holla at your boy Animal Brown, Animal_Brown if you're looking for me on socials.
Absolutely, man. And I am Spike Lou on them same social sites. We got a special guest in the house with us tonight. Brother Duce, Mr. Nick himself from Frames Per Second podcast, from the Dead End Sports podcast, and overall everything they do over there at Dead End. Nick, what up, brother?
What's going on? What's going on? I'm trying to be like the third member of the pod. You know what I'm saying? I try to hop in every now and then.
You definitely got more appearances than anybody else, so you are the honorary third
really
member. I will say that absolutely.
That's a fact, right?
Yeah, we gotta keep it going.
Yeah.
It's been a minute though, man.
I'm good, man. I'm just waiting for my check from y'all since I'm a part of the team and everything. But nah, I was talking to y'all a little bit earlier. I'm about to dip up out of Atlanta to Connecticut for a few years, you know what I'm saying, for the job and everything. So I'm just doing my last goodbyes, and they damn near got a nigga damn near sentimental around here, boy. I had to cry in the car a couple of times. I ain't really yeah, you don't realize how many biddies fuck with you until you about to dip. They start taking you out to dinner. Boy,
all that good stuff.
Man. I ain't never thought I ain't know these women had money, bro. When a girl take you outside, I want to buy you something to eat and all that. I'm like, bro, you should have been done that.
You see, I might not be leaving if I was.
Boy, I damn near rescinded the contract they sent me. I was like, hold on, the biddies came out the woodwork.
Congrats on that, though. Real talk.
You. Absolutely. Congratulations. We appreciate you coming through, making it one of your stops on your way out, man. You're a talented young brother. We always happy to have you here on deck. And you know how we get down as a listener of the show, man. And all y'all know how we get down. Abby, how you been? You good this week, brother?
Man, I cannot complain, man. Ready to get to this. We got some good music came out this weekend, man. Ready to get to it.
That's a mean little Carhartt sweater right there. You got that from the exclusive. I sent that to you, didn't I?
Got that on sale. You know how I shop.
That's all right.
Hey, he stay lying about where he get his stuff.
Right, lying his ass.
I was thrifting, my nigga.
Top dollar. I got this at I got this at Thrift, whatever the name of it.
Well, my cousin gave this to me about 3-4 years ago.
It was in the back of the closet.
God, I had it.
Yeah, this is the Goodwill, nigga.
Niggas, they never can let you know where they pick their shit out.
Never. AB been like it ever since I've known him, though. He learned
no
it from
way.
Jay.
I share the wealth.
Homeboy J-Ho. No way. But anyway, man, speaking of sharing the wealth, we appreciate y'all being here with us, man. This week we talking about Meg. She's funding her own album. What does that mean? The BET Awards named a Best Podcast and gave it to, we'll talk about that later. Offset dropped his long delayed Set It Off album. 2 Chainz and Wayne got an album coming out. Vlad called out your man's AB and DJ Khaled. We'll get to that. But first, Kanye West reportedly is shopping an album deal for the release of his album with Ty Dolla $ign. If you were a label, AB, I'll start with you and we can kick it to you, Nick. If you were a label, would you pick up this Ty Dolla $ign and Kanye West album?
I think enough time has passed to where you might can pull it off. I don't think anybody cares about what label is putting anything out anymore, to be honest. So let's just say Universal scooped them. Are people going to be picketing outside of Universal? I doubt it. Are people going to boycott Universal? I doubt it. I don't see any of that shit happening or coming anytime soon. So if I'm a label, I would take the chance, and he'd have to do something though, like make some type of statement or something. I'll probably cover it up with some bullshit like that. But I thought this was interesting that he doing a collab. I was surprised Ty Dolla $ign signed on to this, like as the first person to work with the nigga since the wild shit. That was surprising to me. I don't know how he talked him into that. But if I'm a label, yeah, I'll sign him, man. Enough time has passed, make a statement or not. I don't see any repercussions coming from that.
What say you, brother Duce?
I've been thinking about this question. This is the main question that I've been thinking about is like, if I was a label, would I pick him up? Because like you said, AB, it's hate to say like, because I'm not from that community, so I can't say when enough time has passed. But Kanye is a nigga to judge, to see where that measuring stick is. If he's, trying to drop this project, which I don't know if is it Ty Dolla $ign's project? It's just like produced by Kanye, or is it like a collab project?
It's supposed to be a collab.
To me, that's a little different. If it's a collab project, then yeah, I would agree with you, AB. They may have to do a statement. I don't think Kanye would, but I think Ty Dolla $ign probably would. I just thought that he was kind of like producing the whole album. Mm. But if I'm a label, I'm definitely picking this up. Like this ain't no question, nigga. They talking about Kanye back. Based off it, like they said that the records he been doing, like he's always done well with like R&B artists, low key. That's one of his secret, like one of his hidden talents is that he actually is really good at producing R&B music. Now, I mean, again, if you feel a certain type of way, if you don't like Kanye, you're not gonna listen to it anyway. So I don't really think that that's an issue. It's more so of like, I guess, a PR thing, like just get it out the way, send out a statement. But yeah, it's probably gonna be the best project of the year in a low year. This is probably the shittiest year for music. So Kanye and Ty Dolla $ign sound like the best thing that I've heard in the last few months, honestly.
Really, I find it interesting that you guys went straight to the headline thing. I thought more so of a music standpoint. Like if I ran a label, do I want to hear? I differ from you, Nick. I don't want to hear really a Kanye West and Ty Dolla $ign project, especially like if it ain't been worked. Pause. Like I don't hear no singles from it. I don't know what type of music it's gonna be. I don't know what Kanye West been doing the last 3 years. You claim me back, West. I mean, Nick, but how am I supposed to know that if I run a label, I would want him to prove it. Even with the headlines, of course, you're gonna deal with that whenever he comes back out. I think whenever he decides to hit the button and come back out, you're gonna deal with it. But as I read this headline and we were preparing to talk about it, it never like was like I would want to hear that Ty Dolla $ign and Kanye West out. Like, I wouldn't want to hear that. I'm
saying that more so like I don't think the big labels will take it. I think if I was up and coming label young, like I need headlines to, regardless of how we feel, attention is attention, especially these days. You know what I'm saying? Like good, bad, or ugly, like it's gonna bring you clicks and it's gonna bring people closer to the album and stream it. But I think, for me, whenever Kanye's back is against the wall, he somehow, some way does produce some type of good music to follow that. Or when people are really coming at him like crazy. And I'm not defending him. I'm just saying like creatively, I can see this being a good, like him being locked into the music. This is the best thing that he does. This is the best thing that he's known for. With an artist like Ty Dolla $ign, I want to hear creatively what they come up with. Now, Lou, I don't think you even gave a fuck about Kanye for the last 5 years, so that you're still answering that surprise.
That's cap. He had Donda in his top 5. That's cap. Trust me.
I did. I fuck with that Donda. I didn't rush to it. But what I will say is that music does need Kanye West. I don't know what state that he's in right now, but as far as how things have gone from, I know we've talked about it in the previous couple of weeks, I'd be like just the acts being boring, like no new sounds and the shit that Kanye did with College Dropout or My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy or 808s and Heartbreaks. Like the music needs that type of shakeup right now. And if he the one to still do it, I'd be here for that because I think everything else is stagnant.
I agree. The music game and the sneaker game is low key quiet right now with no Kanye. It's almost kind of like how the political game when Trump left, it was kind of like, okay, yeah, like CNN back to being boring as fuck now. Where he was in, it was at least some excitement. But I will say, if I'm a label head, and you kind of touched on this too. If I'm a label head, yeah, people can be saying it's fire and all. I got to hear every lyric on the album, nigga, before it even. Like, I need to get the transcripts, nigga. I need the whole joint. I need to know every bar that Kanye West is talking on, bro. Like, don't slide no bullshit underneath. No, I need every ad lib, every bar, every lyric. I need the whole 9 before anything goes out. And we're not pulling at let me remix it after I done put it out and you say some bullshit, nigga. Now they all on me. No, but I do think a label like the one that Ross just signed up with, that's behind Sexy Red, like they bubbling, that Gamma joint, they behind Usher too, his like resurgence. I think you get them with some creative minds over there because they cooking with hot grease. They might can do some things with, and that's I think dude black on too. So they might be able to connect with Kanye somehow. I don't fucking know, but give him a shot. It'd be worth rolling the dice if I'm Neil.
But my thing is this, like, I feel like y'all not thinking about Ty Dolla $ign in this whole.
Nobody's thinking about Ty Dolla $ign. I'm gonna keep it.
You're right.
No, I'm saying as far as like he's not going to associate himself with no crazy shit that Kanye.
Oh, well, that's true.
I don't
think
true. So. That's what I'm saying. So that's why I'm like, I agree that you still have to listen to the album before you put it out, but I still would give that much kind of like, all right. That's why I said if Ty Dolla $ign's a part of this, then yeah, I'm cool with it. If it was just Kanye, hell no, I probably wouldn't even touch it because you don't know what the hell he about to say. But it's a whole different lane when you're talking about with the Ty Dolla $ign route. And I don't think Ty Dolla $ign is an artist that can afford to have any kind of slander on his projects.
That's true.
Like, he ain't the hottest nigga out right now. So that's why I think this is a good look.
They got good collabs too, though. We're not gonna act like he ain't laced him before. Exactly. They got good collabs.
He laces he gets off.
I'm going to pause that. He gets off. Next, big drop over the weekend. The highly anticipated, highly delayed as well, Westside Gunn. He's been gassing this project up for the last couple of weeks, man, saying it's his best project. If you know Westside Gunn, he's got 40 projects under his belt. The Hitler Wears Hermes series and a couple of albums. Pray for Paris was highly coveted a couple of years back. This new one is called And Then You Pray For Me. It's got a ton of features, just like how a Westside Gunn album does, but a different sound. I'll start with you, Lou. He said it's his best work. Was he right or did he gas it?
He gassing it, but that's what he do. This is an interesting piece of work. Part of Westside Gunn, who he is gassing. He come from the wrestling world. He's really involved in the wrestling world. So promo and that stuff that he does very well. He gonna say this. What I will say is I was pleasantly surprised in hearing him on the trap beats. I like that. For me, the boom bap shit is getting a little old. So when we was talking about stagnant and stuff, I like to see him venturing outside of that and not just doing a full tape of that. They even had a slow R&B song, and he really don't mix it up much. So either you love it or you gonna hate it, and because you want some different flows and different styles from him. But at this point, I don't know if you tuning in the West Side for that. It's not his best work, but it is a really good piece of work. It is maturing as far as what he does. It ain't that same shit that you heard 5 years ago, 6 years ago. You can tell the growth and the development, and you can tell how he puts the albums together. I like the intro when he was talking about it was a fine piece of cloth or linen that you would have, like a shirt that was made or some shit like that. I like how he was explaining it and then went into the album. So the setup and all of that shit is good. He's never suffered in those areas, but I mean, the music is okay.
Nikki, were you here for the West Side over the trap beats?
So when you asked me about this, I had to actually go listen to the project. And unlike Lou, I did not like the intro at all. I thought the beginning of the album was garbage. But as you went along, it got better. Because I mean, how many times you want to hear a 40-year-old nigga say talk about like he's not interested. Give me Morgan Freeman, like how Metro used it. I want to hear Westside Gunn for the umpteenth time talking about his cloth and what it looked like, whatever the fuck that is. But I do agree that I was more surprised about this album than not, because the features he had on there made sense. You could tell he was trying some different things, different flows, different beats, even different collaborations. You got Denzel Curry on here. Yeah. Him and JID, that song was dope. He even got gigs on here. So it's like you could tell he's trying to, obviously branch out, because obviously their whole Griselda run, I think, is pretty much up. And you got to see these similar to the Migos stuff. We're going to talk about that. Is like you can see that their run, once it came up, they wanted to become solo acts, and they're trying to branch off and say like, all right, I can do a show by myself. I don't need to have three husky other niggas with me. You know what I'm saying? So I think this project is actually a step up. Now, him saying this is the one thing I do like about hip hop, is that this is the only space where niggas can just say anything and no one really will check you. Like him saying this is the greatest album I've ever. Like, come on, bro. It just dropped the last week. Chill out.
Listen, I can't name one example of a project being of an artist saying that, yo, this is my best work, and it actually came to fruition. That damn, he was right. That was his best. That's never happened. Like niggas only say that when they need people to talk about their work. That's not to say it's not good. I will say the internet was roasting him for trying to rap over the trap beats though. And some of them, the beats was kicking his ass. I'm not gonna lie. Like he was trying his best to keep up. And he did decent. Let's be honest, we're not here for bars when it comes to Westside. It's really more of the flash, the style, the way in which he's saying shit. The bars are going to have to come with the features from Stove God and the other people that he has on there. But I will say, as long as you came in with the right expectation, like you weren't expecting like Alchemist and sample loops and stuff, as long as you didn't like come in with those high hopes, it was more than serviceable for me. There was a couple of joints on there I fuck with, but mainly because of the supporting acts. I like Stove God. I think he be spitting, and Westside is tolerable. But I love the mixtape drops though. Like he had the drama mixtape drop, and then he had a couple of a couple of throwback. The which ones?
Trapaholics mixtape.
Trapaholics, yeah, that was hard though, and that brought me back, and it made me think of these people like Wiz and Quavo talking about bringing back mixtapes. That shit took me back. That was nostalgic to hear them drop. So hopefully we get more of that. Maybe that starts a trend. But I thought that was cool how he put that together. Though. I'm not gonna front.
Yeah, it's a nice piece of work.
Go ahead, Lou. My bad.
I was just saying it was a nice piece of work.
Nah, yeah, I fuck with it. I fuck with the I don't know if this is the second half or the third half of DJ Drama's career, but like he is like in a really great space right now because everybody still remembers him as the legend of like the mixtape era. And they want to bring that same energy back. And I agree with you, like listening to those drops and all that, it makes you think about a time where rap music was like really interesting. Not to say it's not
cracking
now, but it was like really like interesting from both sides, from underground and mainstream.
That Drama's definitely been on a nice wave. I think the first project, number one, I called the resurgence of Gangsta Grill, shout out to me. But secondly, the JID project was the first one to utilize those drops in like the modern era. And ever since then, it's been up. The Tyler did it and won the Grammy. It's been up since then. Like everybody getting the Gangsta Grills. Pusha T's supposed to have one before the end of the year. We'll see if that comes to fruition. But it's definitely interesting. The gun is solid though. I'm not gonna front. It's got some joints I replayed a couple of times.
Yeah.
Very solid, very solid. You're right. I did take a few of them. I was like, damn, I didn't know seeing Westside Gunn in my playlist is different. You know what I'm saying? There's only a couple of tracks, but he was spitting. He did some good records on here.
$100 salad with the Brutons, man. Hey man, he too old for shit like that, but it'd be funny. I ain't gonna
lie. How old is he?
He too old for that. He too old to be saying Brutons. He way too old for that.
That's the correct answer. Too old.
And one of these days,
all right, moving on. What you say?
I was gonna say last thing. One of these days, we're gonna have to have a conversation about JID.
What about it though?
Hey, absolutely.
It seemed like he got a good stimulus package from everybody who you would want,
and still ain't popped.
He's still here. I was shit. Well, yeah, I mean,
Hunter, what's arguably pop, though? Does he need a big solo single? Does he need a what do you mean pop though? Because his albums are critically acclaimed.
I expect him to be a bigger star.
Exactly.
Like at this point in his career, being tied to J. Cole, rapping as well as he does, having critically acclaimed albums, like he still ain't even. He ain't nowhere near a mainstream act.
Let me ask you this, AV: Who's a more well known or bigger star, Westside Gunn or JID?
Probably Westside Gunn, bro.
And does that say something? And who does that say more about, Westside Gunn or JID?
Westside Gunn has more of the it factor. JID don't got that. Westside Gunn is Vince McMahon. He's a promoter. He can sell himself.
10 years ago, JID would be a star by now.
I can see that.
In the right era of what he trying to do. Like if he had came out with Wale and Kendrick Lamar and Big Sean, them, like he would have been a star. But
maybe so.
He missed that.
Yeah.
If you tell me a 76-year-old black man from Buffalo has more star power than an under 35-year-old from Atlanta, that says a lot, bro.
Nah, it does.
2023.
That's a problem.
It does. That's a good point there, Nick. MX are gonna hate to hear that. Next, man, we're going to 2 Chainz, my guy. Him and Lil Wayne are talking about that second collab album, Calio. Is that the name of it?
Collard Grove.
Calio. Collie Grove, whatever the name of it is. Yeah, this is their second collab album. It's set for November the 2nd. Are you guys here for it? AB?
No. It's easy. I would rather have, like, I get it. I like them as a duo. The first Collie Grove was cool. You know what I mean? It wasn't necessarily super memorable, but it had some joints. I'm not gonna front. And Wayne can still rap in 2023. And maybe this works for him because the solo shit may not hit anymore. We just heard that last mixtape which was complete throwaways. That shit should have never left the hard drive. So I'm hoping Chainz brought something out of him, or they can bring something out of each other. I just don't like. We need moments in hip hop in the worst way right now, and I don't think this is a big enough moment. 2 Chainz over the Static Selector beats or something like that, or like him coming out with that sample heavy thing joint that he said he was gonna do. I'm waiting on that. I don't necessarily need this. This will probably be good for a listen or two. Wayne will have a hot bar here and there, and Chainz will say something funny between time, and then this will be out of the rotation, man, in 72 hours after it drops. Unfortunately, this ain't the moment we need.
Let's say you, Nick.
I really grew up fucking with both of these 2 artists, Chainz and Wayne, and I could tell where they were at in their career with the first collab project. Now, this second one, like AB mentioned, like I'm not really that interested. However, I do think that there's still, again, it's been such low quality of music that I'm giving this a chance. Same way, kind of like I'm doing the same thing with Kanye and Ty Dolla $ign. It's like I don't really have much. I don't have a right area to be picky at. You know what I'm saying? Like who else are we going to if we're not listening to this Wayne and 2 Chainz that you really even remotely give a fuck about? So at this point, I'm just kind of just like, all right, if y'all want to drop it, drop it. I hope it got some bangers on it, which it may more than likely do. But again, we're seeing we're in a whole new era of rap right now, where like the young niggas ain't young no more, and the old niggas are going to be senior citizens in about 15 years. So I don't know where
we too old for the young niggas. Like we don't even know who the young niggas is. People will pull shit up, and I'll be like, who? Well, I agree with you guys on that sense. What you said, it was a good point, AB, and a reason to why I don't care about this album is the 2 Chainz and Lil Wayne thing. That's cool if that's a pre-album, if that's a mixtape, but because we need moments in hip hop, I would rather see a 2 Chainz album where he get to do his promo thing. Like 2 Chainz makes those moments. I don't know if it's past or not. Hopefully that it hasn't, but the Pink Trap House in Atlanta, every album that he's came out with within the last 5-6 years, he's been able to create at least a buzz, more than we've at any point in time this year, with the exception of maybe Drake and the bigger artists. But yeah, like it's fun when 2 Chainz comes out. I know he not be able to do the same type of promotion with him and Wayne because we know y'all can't miss. We hope on 4 songs, both of y'all can rap y'all asses off. But yeah, I would rather just much have a 2 Chainz album, like you said, over the Static Selector beats, AB, or just him being able to get out and be 2 Chainz again, because again, the game needed. Like ain't shit happening as far as people putting their all in the promo and things of that nature. So I feel like 2 Chainz could bring some life to that.
That's a fire rollout right now would be that would be nice. That would be a nice splash.
You need a.
And Chainz is usually pretty good at that. Even with the rapper go to the league, he had the whole LeBron A&R. That who knows what he really did with that shit, but still, it was something to talk about. LeBron invented the deluxe album.
LeBron telling he invented the deluxe album, nigga.
Boy, LeBron,
we gonna do Chainz. What we gonna do, bro? We gonna hit him with the next album of the same songs, but add 2 more. And we gonna drop it like 3 days later, nigga. What?
Hey, LeBron be getting his Christopher Columbus song like a motherfucker, bro. This nigga think he discovered all types of shit, bro.
Oh, shit, that's funny.
No, but I think again we see in different chapters of these niggas' careers. Like I don't know, I think 2 Chainz is better as a label executive maybe than as a rapper. I think that's why I'm like. So when y'all talk about promo things, like I'm thinking like he is more needed in that area for other artists who are making dope music. Because I think right now, I'm like, what was the last good 2 Chainz solo album that you really fuck with?
Don't do that. Don't do 2 Chainz like that.
It's been a minute.
I'm just saying. I just asked when was the last time? I just said when was the last time? I just said the same thing about
Pretty girls like trap music.
Man, that rapper go
2017.
don't do that. That rapper go to the league one bad, and it was one after that.
The So Help Me
He
God
had
was
his
mid.
face on there. He was So Help Me God was me. Okay, that was
It was
Yeah,
but
okay.
it wasn't
you
like
could tell it was
terrible.
mid. It was mid based on the cover art. It looked like one of the funeral T-shirts that they be having.
That knocked
But
it
nah,
down off top.
Low
Yeah.
key, Killer Mike stole that cover for this album here this year.
Oh, on
His
the
was
low.
just like that.
That's true.
I just not thought about that as I was looking at what it was. Yeah, that's funny.
I will say, if it's been a minute though, spin that Collard Grove, that first Collard Grove, that Bentley truck was there, and that Blue C Notes, that shit went hard. I give them
That's what I'm
that.
saying.
Fire.
There was some records on that. There was some records on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So maybe they can repeat that, man. Who knows? We need it. Shit. Next up, man, your boy DJ Vlad made a rare appearance on Breakfast Club solo, gave an interview about 50 minutes. He called out Drake and he expounded on his tweet calling out Drake and DJ Khaled for being silent on the Israel-Palestine conflict going on. He said Drake is the most famous Jew, arguably, in entertainment. And then he said Khaled is the most famous Palestinian, arguably, in entertainment. And neither of them are speaking on the issues, but yet Khaled is pushing his sneakers and Drake is pushing whatever that he's pushing. But he was calling them into question about why they're so silent on these issues. Nick, we'll remix it. Start with you. Does Vlad have a point about Drake and Khaled?
It was like the third or fourth time ever seeing Vlad in real life. This motherfucker like Master Splinter. But I do think it's interesting. I do think it's interesting why he's calling them out. Because obviously the Israel-Palestine thing, it's been a big debate for, I feel like I want to say centuries. But
bro, it's been since the Bible time.
Yeah, exactly.
Go all the way back then. Yeah.
It keeps coming back up now highlight. I mean, everybody that I've seen comment on this, it says like, this is just like when people's asking like, who gives a fuck about what Ja Rule thinks? I do mention the fact that Drake is maybe the most famous Jewish person in entertainment. That made me sit back and think like, at this point in his career, or at any point of a rapper's career, they've at least touched on some social issue in their music content, right? And I don't know if you could count that. What was the God's Plan as a social commentary kind of song, but he's never really addressed anything head on like Black Lives Matter, anything that was going on in the Jewish community. Like he's never really had a record that says like, this is how I feel about, what I think. And everybody like Jay-Z, even Wayne when Hurricane Katrina was coming, like he was making records and stuff. Like it's like everybody has this to say like, this is something that I want to speak on, and he hasn't. Now, Khaled, I don't think no one cares. I don't think anybody would even take anything Khaled would say seriously. But the fact that they haven't even like these are their communities that they come from that they represent heavy, and they don't talk about it outside of just saying like, this is just this is me. So I do think it was interesting that he called him out. Now, do I think that anything will happen? Probably not. But as much as I want to say bullshit on him calling him out, there is a credence of truth of being like, well, these are your peoples that, that's going through this. Well, how do you feel? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Lou, what you think? Do they need to say something?
I may be biased because I don't really fuck with Vlad. This is bullshit. Who is he to call them out and have them say something? DJ Vlad is Jewish. I didn't really hear him address that as far as being a popular Jewish person to say something against it or for it. And it also brings into question my problem with Vlad overall. It's like, he sits and he makes a killing off of Black culture. I never heard him question or ask anybody to come to help save or speak to Black Lives Matter stuff like you just said, Nick. Like if the culture and the place that you make the most money, and you brought up a good point, Nick, like DJ Khaled and Drake, they make most of their money from Black culture. Yeah, they may relate to and very heavily represent where they're from, but they make most of their money with us. So if they don't speak on the issues that have a problem with us being so embarked in our culture, why would you expect them to speak on other issues? I don't get that. And I don't get why he's concerning himself with them having to do it. If you got something to say, my nigga, you say it. But it shows to what I'm saying as far as Vlad being a culture voice, you want to throw other people's name out there, cause all this ruckus, and then everybody else get fucked up behind it, and he always get to sit behind the camera and have his little dusty ass interviews. Fuck Vlad. That's how I feel about it.
He did put out a thing about He put out a statement
said
about the
something about
Israel thing before he made these comments or whatever the case. I thought Charlamagne made a good point when they were talking on Breakfast Club. He asked them what good would that do if either one of them said anything. What does that change? He talked about it's been going on for 1,000 years. Bro, that's not going to make anybody put the guns down, bro. If DJ Khaled comes out and makes a statement, bro, like
what Drake's supposed to do?
If it was that simple, I mean, I feel like this wouldn't have been going on for this long. But in terms of calling people out, like, yo, if you're on the front line of issues in your community on a regular basis, then I feel like you have earned the right to question the next person. I don't know if that warrants a visit to the Breakfast Club and 75% of your interview be about this topic. I don't know about that. I don't think it's that deep. But if you are on the front line and you normally do speak on this, it's a fair question to ask. Now, Drake has already addressed why he doesn't talk about social issues. He did that on Rap Radar podcast a couple of years ago. They asked him and he said, he was like, bro, I kind of stay away from that. We do more things on the back end when it comes to action items. Now, what those are, I have no clue. I don't follow his philanthropical efforts like that, but that was his answer. So he has addressed it. So I wouldn't expect him to all of a sudden switch up and put out a statement like LeBron did, because he puts out a statement on everything. Like, that's his MO when it comes to that. His company does that. They stand on that. That's fine. Drake's not, his persona, his brand isn't built on social issues. I just don't expect it. So maybe I'm different. I just don't care. And Khaled, bro, that means nothing.
Like, it's random. And what bothers me the most about it coming from Vlad is something that you said, Nick. This may be the third time I saw his face. And the lack of concern that he has for our community, that he has most of his interviews and ask these wild ass questions and not caring if niggas get locked up behind it. The lack of concern that he has for our community. But when this happens, I need to go to Breakfast Club. I got to have a 50-minute meeting. I got to call out the biggest stars from those cultures, and the genuine interest that he shows in the other stuff, it just feels manipulative to me.
But for me, it's just like, yeah, I get it. The messenger is the wrong messenger for this message. But he's not the only one to say this about Drake, though. Yeah. I mean, he's the first one to say this about DJ Khaled. I don't know why he threw that nigga in there. But
he's Palestinian. I think,
yeah, he is.
Even if he is, I'm saying no one, even the Palestinians don't give. They ain't trying to hear that nigga either. My thing is, but Vlad is the last one that should ask, but he is not the first one. You know, and that's my thing. Is like, name me the last time a big artist like Drake, who was up there with the, maybe not in the same like height level, but he's up there with the Beyoncé's, Taylor Swift as far as notoriety. He just broke Michael Jackson's record. Like, Michael Jackson even got records of talking about social issues. You know what I'm saying? With all the shit he had going on. Like, that's my only thing. Is like, he is the only artist where all this shit has come. Like, thinking about what's happened in the last 10 years socially. Like, he ain't saying a damn thing. And we know he black. He even talked about how he dealt with being black growing up and all those. Like, so my thing is like, yeah, I don't, at the end of the day, he's not someone that's going to really change anything. But if that, to me, that's a blanket statement, because that's the case. Then no entertainers or anybody, especially like people who don't have an impact, we shouldn't care about anything they say. But we do. I mean, Muhammad Ali and all these other people, like entertainers, they stepped in and they had an impact to some degree. Yeah, I'm not saying that Drake is the next Muhammad Ali, but I'm just saying, like, the fact that he has said nothing about social issues in his music, when we know he's an emotional guy and he's a strategic guy, that's an interesting conversation to have.
I remember one bar, and that's on the 21 record, the single that always gets played, where he says that men making laws about women, they shouldn't do. I forgot the name of that song, but it's the single that gets played on the radio. That's the one bar that I've ever heard him talk about that's got something to do with any type of political or social issue. I can't think of another one off the dome.
And people have been wanting him to expand upon his subject matter anyway. Like, the last album, people like Joe Budden called him out and all this stuff. Like, bro, you older now. What else are you gonna talk about besides fast women, shitting on niggas, and being light skinned? Like there's other things you could rap about, if you know what I'm saying. Like,
he got a good 4 more years of that. He got to hit 40 before that starts to change up. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
I think he good, bro. He's been at the top doing him. He ain't gonna never change. I just think it's interesting to have those conversations about artists like him because it's like, damn, bro, you really are just about the lifestyle. Like that's really all, at least from the music. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Maybe you feel like he ain't got nothing to add.
And if he doesn't, then don't say shit. I wish more people would shut
That's
the
what I'm
fuck
saying.
up.
Like, I would rather him if he genuinely. Like, I wouldn't even be mad at him, Nick, if he was genuinely like, nigga, I'm about the lifestyle, this rap shit. I don't. Not that I don't care about none of it, but I really don't.
But he didn't say that.
Cents to add to
he
that.
didn't say that. Like
That's
AB
true.
said in the interview, he said like, I don't know, I do care. I just do this shit on the back end. Like AB said, like that don't mean shit. He can give $10 to his church. the Jewish church goes to his crib, and that's him giving back. Like we don't know what the fuck he's doing. And again, I'm not saying he needs to tell us that. But when he had the opportunity to say how he really feels about it, he says, nah, I do care. I just don't want to do it publicly. And I'm like, well, if we're not going to know about it and you're not going to say it on your music, like, how do we even know how much you really care, how you feel? Like, that's
fair. Thing. That's true.
Yeah, but Vlad ain't, like you said, Vlad ain't the person to call him out for.
Yeah, he's a horrible person to bring this up, but yeah.
All right, next we got Offset. He dropped his long-awaited his second album, sophomore album, right? Mm-hmm. That album was called Set It Off. How did it sound to you, AB?
Man, I actually liked it. I was surprised. This was supposed to come out this time last year, but of course the Takeoff incident happened, which he clearly delayed it to kind of get his mind right. And I listened to the Breakfast Club interview before I checked the album out. And what I really liked about it is that we come on here every week, and we've said this a couple of times this year. It doesn't seem like people care about the music that they're putting out or care about the culture and the music, period. Offset specifically asked Envy and Charlemagne, did y'all get a chance to hear the album? What did y'all think? You know what I'm saying? Like, what songs, what did you think of it? Like, tell me, give me some feedback. He was asking for feedback. I can't tell you the last artist that went on Breakfast Club. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying that I've heard that it openly asked, can he get feedback on the body of work that he just took 3 years to make? That I respected because it showed that he gave a damn and he was listening. I think Offset has grown and matured as a solo act, and he's doing his best. I think he's doing a good job at molding himself into being a solo act. He put out a couple of Lucy joints last year that actually sounded pretty dope. That first album I didn't really like. I thought that shit was super mid. This one's much better. Much like Quavo's album. I thought Quavo's album this year was much better than the shit he put out a couple years ago. So I really liked it. I was pleasantly surprised. There's a couple of things I would have tweaked and changed, which I spoke to on IG, but I was surprised, and I'm happy for him too, man. It seems like he put the work in, and it showed.
What say you, Nick?
I really did fuck with this album. I enjoyed it as much as the Drake album that just dropped. I did. I like I told you, AB. I saw your post on IG how you be doing like, all right, this is how I make the album classic and all that other shit, bro. You sleep on Bust My Watch and I'm on. Those is fire. You can remove a couple of them other niggas joints that you was talking about. The Don Toliver and the Travis Scott can go, in my opinion. That's my opinion. But I really did like this album, and it answered the question that I think a lot of us have asked over the years, especially since Migos came out, like who's the best artist out of the three?
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, of course, with Takeoff's Untimely Death, it's hard to really even discuss everything like this. But I've always thought Offset was the guy, and I think it was proved. It was proved on Bad and Bougie. I think everybody assumed it was Quavo early on, but Bad and Bougie for me is what proved that like Offset was the one that made it that hit. Like all the stuff that you really liked about the song mostly came from Offset. And I think that ever since then, like I've been really paying attention to how he's been grooming himself as an artist. And this follow-up album to his debut was actually really nice. I think he held his own. The records was dope. He had a little bit. He was talking about some real shit as far as mental health and all the other stuff for himself. He had the ratchet shit. He could spit a little bit too. The features were creative. I mean, you can't really ask for much these days from a rap album than what he gave it. So I thought it was pretty good.
I kept seeing online, similar to what you just said, Nick. Y'all tried to make me believe that Quavo was the star all of these years. Y'all been marketing Quavo as a star, and it's really Offset. And he proved that in the rollout. He proved that on this album. I liked it. Like, it was dope. It hit for me. Like you said, it's not anything that I'm going to go back and listen to all the time, but he did show up, and you could tell that he cared, that he wanted this to be a good album. This is like an eventful album. It had a lot of the good stuff on it. I like the Don Toliver song, Nick. I like the song with Cardi. That sounded dope. I like the one about the mental health stuff. So he did his job. And again, like both of you two have said, like, he's a star. Offset is out of here. I look forward to seeing what he continues to do as he hones that style up, as he starts to lean into being in the front by himself more. This is like the first time that he's been outside of the group. I love his dynamic with Cardi. They little Instagram stories and shit be funny. Like, he's a genuine rap star, and I look forward to seeing him grow in the role. The album was dope. I feel like it lined up for what you wanted it to be. A lot better than the first effort. It was better than Quavo's album to me, if we're comparing the two. But I just think Offset out of here. Like, he out of here, bro.
Y'all having a whole lot of revisionist history talking about it's been clear that Offset is the most talented. Stop. Let's stop.
I didn't say it's been clear. I didn't say it was
that.
clear. I said in the beginning, Quavo was looked at like that, but over time, it was Offset. I mean, look at his resume. He got one, arguably the second baddest chick in hip hop.
Yeah,
maybe first. I mean, shit, he dodged all, he already got his cheating scandal shit out the way, so he ain't got to worry about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and right now he's in the best part of his career.
He got the blueprint.
He got the blueprint already. Like, you can't say the same thing about Quavo. Quavo,
that's true.
He tried to make some shit work. What's her name?
Sweetie.
Yeah, so Sweetie, he tried to make shit work. It didn't work out. His career has been up and down here and there, but Offset has always been, it's been uptick. Like, I can't deny it.
I will say, when they did their 3 solo albums, I really wasn't feeling any one of them, but that's when people started saying maybe Takeoff was the best one because he kind of originated the flow or whatever the case. But out of those 3 albums, the only one song that came close to a hit was Offset's with Cardi, that they do anything for clout. So no one else even had anything close to a radio single or hit. So that kind of showed me, okay, he's got some promise, but we're not going to act like Quavo didn't lace 85% of the hooks, because he was the one that was able to harmonize and get creative, kind of like Ray Shrimmer with Sway Lee, who's obviously the more talented of the two Ray Shrimmer niggas. But it's like that. I think Offset has improved with the flow and shit now, though. That's what's changed. He's improved as a rapper. Because if you listen to the mixtapes, from there to now, he's way better, way more in pocket with the flow. He's way more clever with the bars. The subject material may kind of be similar, but he's way more clever with the bars and shit. Like, I thought he snapped on the Funk Flex freestyle. I thought he killed that.
He did.
Yeah, he did. He got off on it. I'm speaking of him being the front man of the group. When it was Migos, it was presented as Quavo was that nigga. Quavo is
he was Diana Ross.
Yeah, he was definitely Diana Ross. They were the Supremes. But now that we're seeing, now that I'm able to see Offset's personality, hear the music that he's making, see him like on the sidelines of Colorado game, doing interviews on game day. Like, Quavo don't do none of that, bro. I ain't seen him doing any of that.
And that's,
you know what I'm saying? So that,
if AB, as much as I agree with you as far as like Quavo being the guy for the hooks and stuff, where did that get him to this point? You know what I'm saying? Like, how creative musically is he outside of the group when he's just a dolo artist? Like, that first album that Quavo had, he had hella features and hit A-list. He had Madonna on that motherfucker, didn't he? Like, it was some
big records. Yeah.
And it was a mid album.
It was.
Like, he had the whole stimulus package for a rollout. It was mid. And like you said, you go to the other guy, Takeoff is probably the best rapper out of the 3. Yeah. But Offset, I mean, he does a little bit of everything. Like, he could do some hooks. He could spit some bars. He could put a song together. Like, to me, that's where, again, like you mentioned, AB, like, he's gotten better. And I can't say the same for Quavo exactly. Outside of that, he's really talented at doing this main thing that is important. But overall, if an Offset album drop and a Quavo album drop, I'm going to Offset.
I thought something was fishy when Quavo dropped that project with Travis Scott, and that shit was some slaw. Like, that, they have no business dropping a garbage project, them two.
And at that point in time, you would have thought that was going to be the biggest record of the year. Because like they were at their heights, and it was just I like the album, but that's the thing. It's like, no, I can't brag about it. It's damn near like a fart in the wind album.
And it shouldn't have been. That's what I'm saying.
It shouldn't have been.
No. Next up, man, Cole has been on a murdering spree for the last 3 years with these features. Benny the Butcher stepped up and made a bold claim, said, hey, man, no feature is hotter than the one he gave me on my Johnny P's Caddy record. My question is simple, Lou. Is that the best Cole feature over these last few years?
I almost went back and started listening to the Cole features again just so like to dispute what Benny's saying, but then I just had to listen to the Johnny P's Caddy and I understood it could have been that many verses that was better than that. Like if it is, it's one. And I ain't no disrespect to J. Cole or the work that he's put in. That's just a credit to how good and what the level that he's been on. But listening to that after he said that and listening to it, like, yeah, you're probably right. Because he had some dope ass verses when he was floating on them, but on the Johnny P's Caddy, as Big Jeff said, you get to rapping about lightning and lions and bears and shit like that, man. You're gonna have the people going wild. And that's what J. Cole did on this verse. So yeah, Benny's right.
Who you got, Nick? You think that's the verse?
I find it hilarious that you could tell that his streaming numbers was down for that project or whatever. He was like, let me say some shit to get that motherfucker kicked back up.
Go back and listen to it.
Go back and listen to it. I think it's a top 5 J. Cole feature.
Oh.
I'm not gonna say it's the best, but I mean, Cole has ever since 2014, Forest Hills Drive, he has just been on a tear musically, especially with the features. Now, it made me think when y'all talked about this feature, like between Cole rapping wise, between Cole's features and Drake's features rapping wise, do you think that there's a changing of the guard coming up? Because we just see that Drake's #1 song right now is off the last album, has Cole on it. And people talk about Cole's part more than Drake's part. We even make fun of how Drake had to switch the whole song up at the end to kind of save grace for him getting thrashed on his own record. Are we in that point where like we know there's a big 3, and I feel like the big 3 always changes when you're talking about 1 to 3?
Yeah.
It seems like Drake's, I don't know how many people had Drake at #1, but I feel like a lot of people did. It seems like he's not up there anymore than the big 3. He may be 2, fuck around, be 3.
Yeah, we're not finna do that. We're not finna get disrespectful.
I say he could fuck around, be.
Niggas ain't calling Kendrick for no feature though. Like if I can get J. Cole or Drake, I'm not calling Kendrick.
First of all, Luke,
that ain't no disrespect to Kendrick.
How would you call Kendrick?
He gotta send that nigga a pigeon carrier or whatever the fuck it may be.
You gotta put a message in a bottle or throw it in
What they say on Game of Thrones, send a raven. Send a raven to that.
Throw that motherfucker in the river or copter or whatever. But yeah, no, I think no one can get, yeah.
I'm gonna toss it to you, A, because you didn't get the answer. But to answer your question, nigga, I do think that I said this last week. Cole has taken that. I'm the #1 nigga as far as rapping. Y'all can give it to Drake on the artist shit and sales and the Michael Jackson shit. That's fine. But just know, like he said on that song, in the Face of Death, when you FaceTiming me for that feature, nigga, know what you get. And that's J. Cole, the #1 nigga in the game.
All right, y'all adding a little bit of that Andre 3000 gas on it right now, where all I got to do is show up twice a year with a 16, and all of a sudden I'm the greatest rapper of all time. We got to relax. We have to relax. You got to compare everything into consideration, features, discography, the whole 9 when it comes to the big 3, because that's just how tight of a race it is. Now, his feature game in the last 3 years has been amazing. Let's be very clear. I have the verse on Bia's London. That's probably #1 for me because he snapped on that motherfucker. And I thought he killed that Yachty too. That Yachty was special. It just wasn't a single, so it doesn't get burned a lot of places. And plus Yachty shit was, I don't know what that was, to be honest, but killed it.
Don't sleep on Yachty, chill out.
Man, Yachty, bro, his 15 minutes have lasted way longer than they should have. Like, I ain't gonna hold you. He has overachieved like a motherfucker.
He a talented young brother. Now he talented, man.
What?
He wrote all them City Girl albums.
He did Jimmy Butler a rap.
Oh shit.
That's a good one. That is a good one.
He is the Jimmy Butler. The second leg of his career, bro. he has low key been a part of.
He
a
just
lot
wrote
of big
this album,
projects.
this Drake
That's
album
true.
that you love. He just wrote half of that.
Yeah, that nigga didn't write a goddamn. That nigga wrote some ad libs, nigga. Like, he ain't wrote that shit.
Nigga wrote half the album. Drake credited him. Drake said without him, the album wouldn't even be possible.
Yeah, because he went and got water, nigga, when niggas was thirsty in that motherfucker. Hey, Yachty, go get us some water, bro. He kept niggas from being parched. Stop. But no, I think Cole been on a murdering spree. Give me London, give me the Yachty joint. But then also, what's funny is I just heard this today at the gym, and I was like, damn it, nigga, ripped this fucking song, dude. Like, this shit was crazy. The funny thing I thought real quick, though, is how people talked about how he got Benny on this and then he got Drake on his joint. Do y'all remember the moment in time when nobody cared about when anybody got anybody on the song? And there was a changing of the goddamn tone on there. Jay-Z and Eminem Renegade. That is the first song that anybody ever cared about somebody getting got on their own record.
Even when it came out, niggas didn't even say like one got the other. It took Nas to drop Ether and call it out for motherfuckers to start doing it.
No one cared about that shit before. That was not a thing. Now that's the thing, nigga. Like,
we talking about like 8 tracks to Nick. Nick has no idea what we talking about.
I know exactly what y'all talking about, but I'm saying like people have had these conversations. It's just that artists never really put it on wax like that. Like when Nas did it, that was the first time an artist critiqued another artist's music on their own record. Like no one ever did that, and that's why he's a GOAT for that. But for me, it's just like, yeah, we're gonna talk about this stuff because I'll ask you, AB, what's the best song on that album, that last Drake album?
Oh, it's definitely the one with him and Cole.
Yeah. And is it because of him or is it because of Cole? Is it because of him or is it because of Cole? To me, like if you're the biggest artist,
to me, it's a combination. Drake does this sometimes. He'll take the route to make the song good, and he'll let the feature artists get their bars off.
Yeah, that's cap.
That's shooting so much bail for a millionaire who has
he'll take the route to make the song good versus having a better verse. Stop it. And that's why I go to say what we was talking about last week. That's the reason that J. Cole is a better rapper, because the better rapper is taking the better verse every time. Like Joe, that's what Joe
Drake is a song maker, bro. He makes songs.
Okay, cool. So when I tell niggas and niggas try to take it as a slight when I say Drake isn't a rapper, he's an artist.
No, he can rap too
just
now.
What it is, because he can rap and he can probably rap with the best of them, but he's not a rapper. And that mindset alone is what I mean when I say that. It's not a slight. It's just like
he's
a
both.
Rapper is going in there to give you the best verse.
He's both. That's what makes him
Drake,
different.
like you said, Drake cares about making the best song.
In
J.
this
Cole
instance,
cared about putting you in a body bag and carrying you out of here, nigga.
Drake knows people don't want to hear 4 verses of lyrical miracle spiritual shit back to back.
They actually
gonna harmonize
on the hook. They actually do want to hear that from him.
Yeah,
that's what he doesn't understand.
If that was the case, nigga, Slaughterhouse would have went platinum, nigga. That shit would have went diamond, nigga. Niggas want to hear that.
They want to hear Drake do it. They want to hear Drake do it. Drake is the more interesting person. He's promoted as a bigger artist. They would love to hear him do that since they know he can do all the other shit. That's the
pull up Drake verse on that Brent Faiyaz, nigga. Cole could never. What's next? Cole could never.
Oh, what is he doing? Singing on
God tier bars, nigga.
All right, next, man. The BET Awards came and went. The BET Hip Hop Awards, excuse me. They came and went. Very ratchet event and affair. They named the best hip hop platform for podcasts, and the contestants were JBP, of course, Drink Champs, of course, The Breakfast Club, and that's pretty much it. But also Carisha Please, who dropped 2 episodes this year, maybe 3. And surprisingly, Carisha won. My question to you guys, Nick, I'll start with you. When JBP, Drink Champs, and The Breakfast Club called out the BET Awards for Carisha winning this award, do you think they were right?
Technically, probably yes. However, this goes to a conversation, Lou, me and you had, I think, with Ken from Dead End Hip Hop, where I told you that we're in that stage where female hip hop runs rap, right? So everything surrounding that, and it's actually at a good time because who's the most marketable person in hip hop right now? Probably a black woman. You know what I'm saying? Not niggas. So for BET, they already gave the wasn't it last year? Drink Champs won. I don't know if Joe Budden has ever won.
They split it last year. Carisha won it last year too.
No,
they split it with Carisha too.
Yes, she did.
I thought Drink Champs won it outright.
I'll look it up. Keep talking.
I'm just saying, like, as far as just them recognizing that this is a woman in a hip hop space we gonna highlight this woman. I mean, her interviews, even if she did 3, they were more talked about than a lot of other stuff that from the Joe Budden podcast and all that stuff. Like, those are big interviews that people can, stories are still coming out from all that other stuff. I just think it was just a look for her in the era of hip hop that we in right now. Like, everybody's gonna get their turn at being selected for the best platform. I don't think it's gonna be a consistent award like how it was when Nicki was nominated for a hip hop award. We all knew that this motherfucker's gonna win regardless of who else is in the category. I think it's just them passing around. But as far as the facts of it,
they tied last year.
They tied last year.
Yep.
Okay. But I just think that they're just giving her a time to shine. I don't think it actually means anything. I don't think anybody believes it, but I think it's a good look for BET to recognize him.
Listen, first of all, she's got 3 episodes this year. Now, they do numbers. They're popular. She had Ari the Don, Summer Walker, and Black China. Those are the 3 episodes this year. You cannot, within anybody in their right mind, cannot give the best hip-hop platform to a platform that has 3 episodes all year. When this nigga is putting out shit weekly, quality shit weekly.
No hip hop artists on there at all. I said,
that's what I'm saying.
No hip hop artists on there, mind you.
And she beat out $1 million worth of Game, Joe Budden, Drink Champs, Breakfast Club, Double XL, Hip Hop DX, and All Hip Hop. I would feel some type of way if I was them too. Like, come on, bro. Especially she just won last year. Last year it was a splash. She had big dog episodes and she put out more content. I would understand that completely. But bro, doing it this year, and she ain't even tied nobody. Nigga, she won outright. The fuck? Who does she know at BET, dude?
I think it's just more so. It probably is that Puff. This is pause, but that Puff plug worked, boy.
Man, what?
But now I'm just saying, like, again, I think it's just we in that era of rap where it's like, bro, anything. Look at Ice Spice. Ice Spice doing Dunkin' Donut commercials with Ben Affleck. Like, who? Somebody. I know there's a couple of hip hop artists. Like, who the hell did this bitch think she is? Who gave her that connect? I've been rapping in my basement for about 35 years. I want my own endorsement deal too. I just think that it's easier to market these women than it is the men right now. I think Drink Champs does his own good thing. Joe, like, none of those platforms are gonna lose any fans or get any more popular based off this award. Her platform is the only one that gets a benefit off of this because it gets people like us talking about it, and it makes people go revisit, like, who the fuck is she and how does she beat these dudes? Like, I think it's just, again, a plug for her shit, and it shows that BET's on the right side of history. When we look back and say, did y'all recognize these people back then? They can say, yeah.
Please.
Talib Kweli was hot. They didn't get nominated. He got a podcast. He was hot about this shit.
Have you looked at his podcast, bro?
A long time ago, about a year ago, probably.
Talking about some shit on it. What I will say, shout out to Carisha, because that's a dope platform. I want to be very clear that before I get into anything else. Like, what she does over there, I think that she has the talent in that space. She said she wanted to be like Oprah or whatever it was. We talked about it earlier here, AB. So I get it. I get that she wants us to support it. She wants it to be big. So having awards around it helps her dream, and that's cool. Like what you were saying for Black women, Nick. However, I think it's disrespectful to the space to give her the award.
I agree.
Like you said, this niggas is doing work every week that got good quality shit that actually care about it.
Some daily, if you look at the Breakfast Club, that's daily.
If you do it, you got niggas is really putting in work. And if you are BET and you feel like that she needs to be recognized for the work she did, then there needs to be more podcast categories. It's disrespectful for what podcasting does for this space now. It's a big part of hip hop. Like, it's damn near more interesting than most of the music that we're getting. Niggas sitting and talking about it every week and having the throwback interviews and the up-to-date interviews and shit, Joe Budden going back and forth with Drake. It's just a bigger part of hip hop as anything else is, and it needs to be respected as such. And I think BET is behind the ball in recognizing that. They feel like they can just give it to Carisha. She's a popular name. Nobody will be mad. And oh yeah, Puff will give us $1 million donation for whatever we need. It's cool. However, again, I want to say it and be very clear that it's disrespectful to the space, because you do have people like $1 million worth of Game. You do have people like Nori, JBP, even Talib Kweli shit. Even we had Glasses Malone on here. He got podcasts. Like there's a lot of different hip hop podcasts that focus on a lot of different things that need to be recognized. Maybe they should start an award show for that and have a podcast hip hop awards via BET. They would be out in front in that space versus being behind by giving it to just Carisha.
It sounds like a popularity contest.
It is.
To a certain extent.
That's a good point, Lou. That's a good point.
Real quick, but before we get to these wins and these losses, your girl Meg Thee Stallion popped out, says she is back making music. She is no longer with her troubled record label down there in H-Town. She said she is funding the next album out of her own pocket. Want all her fans to know that's the holdup, but it's coming. It's just going to take a minute because, goddammit, I'm fitting the bill. So my question to you, Lou, is this a big deal, little deal, or no deal that Meg is coming out of pocket for this next album?
This is no deal at all. We heard Killer Mike tell us he came out of, what, $750,000?
Yeah, his wife was looking at him crazy.
Yeah, he almost got put out of the house. Him behind this for spending $750,000 on making an album. Like, this is a part of the game, man. If you're gonna beef with Carl Crawford and them and whatever the name of his record label is, if you're gonna do these things and you want your independence, and sometimes you got to pay for it. I think talking about it on the back end is a lot more tactful, a lot more. It just seems better than you trying to tell us on the front end, like to cop please. Like, if it take forever, just remember I gotta pay for everything, nigga. Who don't? It's our pay for their albums, and not on her level maybe, but there are plenty of hip hop artists that make this happen all the time. Every time they need to drop an album, so her coming out and saying anything, I think is no deal at all. Like, just put the album out at this point.
No, this is a big deal because. Her saying this up front, the same thing that your boy LaRussell did the other day, you're throwing this information out here for whoever's got the check to go, wait, hold on, you ain't got no, wait, hold on, I got the check, I got the bag for you, don't even worry about that shit. I guarantee you she got calls or got hit up for labels. That wasn't nothing but fishing. She was fishing out here for a label or for somebody with a bag that is willing to put money behind one of the more popular artists in the game. You just said the women are running shit. She already got L'Oreal commercials and Doritos sponsorships and all kind of other shit. If she doesn't already have a label and she was just talking, she will have one very soon because people are going to flock to her much faster than they're going to flock to Kanye and Ty Dolla $ign, dude. So
Facts.
I think that was just bait, throwing that fish out there to throwing that bait out there to see if anybody would catch it. I think that's a smart play. What says you, Nick?
Well, one, Lou is heartless when it comes to people and how they run their business, boy. He don't care what you want. I think it's a little move. Like, I think it's a little deal, just for the fact of if they ask me between a Kanye Ty Dolla $ign project and a Meg Thee Stallion project, I'm gonna go to the Ty Dolla $ign. I ain't gonna hold you, because really? Meg is really like. Y'all talked about all the stuff she got going on. Ain't shit had to do with music.
That's true.
I've seen her in Marvel TV shows. I've seen her doing all this other stuff. This is the first time I've heard her talk about music, like saying like some shit is coming. Like, this is like, I got this record's coming out. Because the last project she put out wasn't really, again, it was a fart in the wind. It didn't really do much.
Yeah, it didn't.
So I think right now she's in an interesting point of her career as far as like, we're going to really see how much she cares about music. Because right now you could argue that she's making more off the field than on the field. You know what I mean? So I think her telling us this, I do see it more as, it's a little bit of both of what y'all said. I think you're right, Lou, that she's using this as a get ahead of it excuse for why I'm delayed. But AB, you also right as far as like, I'm up, I'm a free agent. Like, you know what I'm saying? Come get me. If you think Meg Thee Stallion can make your label great again, sign me up. But I don't think that's a good bet right now, though. She need to prove it. She's on a prove it album with me. Prove to me that you are still gonna be here for the next 5 to 8 years. Because right now, that those last records you had when you first came out, that time frame is up. Like,
yeah. It's Meg. Like that would almost be like some under the table deal, because the only reason she isn't on the label is because the conflict that she has with the label that she signed to. If she could just sign to a label, it would be a lot of people lining up to fund her album, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
She is she's in contract dispute with Carl Crawford.
Well, no, that's done. She's a free agent. That's what I'm
why
saying.
won't Rock Nation just sign her? I'm saying, why wouldn't Rock Nation just sign her? She managed by them.
Because they probably heard the album.
That's a good point.
They was like, we making more money off of you doing the management than dealing with
a real commercial. We don't even want to hear the music. Marvel on the phone, don't even work on the album, just go straight to MCU. Okay, it makes sense.
She's claiming to be okay with the position that she's in with the funding it herself and maybe on some independent whatever. But you got to think, so 1501, which is called Crawford label, and 300, she claimed that they sabotaged that last album that didn't do anything. It came out last year, didn't make a lot of noise. She filed she was granted a temporary restraining order against both of those labels because, nigga, they tried to block her song from being used in the AMAs and other different platforms. So that may have aided in the reason why that album came and went. The biggest news from that album was that she spent $250 on the Future feature, which is insane because that's almost some slaw. The Pressurelicious or some shit
feature that didn't work.
Yeah,
it's the only Future feature that didn't work in the history of time, and she spent $250.
That's why he charged her for it. He's like, he said, ain't nobody about to listen to this. I might as well get paid for.
$250 is insane for that song right there. So that may have aided in her joint. Now I will say the 1 year Prove It deal joint, I can see that. That's fair because the lane that she was owning or at least co-owning with Cardi is yump now, nigga. It's 15 gals out right now eating. So we'll see how that works. And the joint with her and Cardi really didn't make no noise. The bongo joint, they really didn't do shit.
Yeah,
it was a good music video. That was about it.
Yeah, watch it on mute. Shit lit.
That on the show. Man, let's get into some wins and losses, man, before we get out of here. First winner or loss, The Game. The Game says that he's going to be the first rapper to sign an artist in every state. Is this a win or a loss?
Hey, this is a win. I kind of like this idea. I put this up there with Finesse 2 Times saying he's going to bail somebody out at every show. I like that shit. I like this type of talk right here. Sign 50 people and nigga give them a chance, give them a check, probably a small one. And nigga, you're throwing 50 pieces of spaghetti up against the wall, nigga, and see which one stick. Because if something pops, then nigga, game is up as a win. And nobody ever gave a shit about Black Wall Street artists before or whatever he tried to rebrand it as. I don't even remember. Profit, I don't, whatever the fuck he called it. Nobody cared. This may get him some spice, some attention. Sign 50 artists and see if it works. It'd be No Limit all over again. You just need one to pop.
What's that, you know?
You could tell when rich rappers, they ain't got shit to do and the music get hit and they just be saying all types of random shit. Like, this is the most random thing I've heard The Game said out of all the shit he's said.
Man,
like,
that's saying a lot.
What?
That's saying a lot.
What does this mean? Like, you ain't even say, like, I don't even know what this is. Like, what does this prove to you? And I forgot he had that Black Wall Street. That brought people. That label came out since 2005?
Yeah.
When he got kicked out of G-Unit. Like, nigga, the fuck out of here. Who wants to sign at The Game anyway? What cachet has he shown that he can help develop an artist? Where he can do it 50 times over. Come on, bro.
Hey, that was gonna be my response. I said, if he can find 50 artists assigned to his label, man, I commend him for that because I don't see it happening. I don't see him signing 50 people, man. But in theory, it sounds good. In theory, it does sound good.
Your boy doing it right now.
If it wasn't Game,
your boy Sauce Walker got a situation like he got hella niggas signed to him, and he's got splits on their distribution and their streams and shit. It's working for them. It may not be 50, but he's got a system. If you can have a system with one, then you can have a system with 50. Just cut, copy, and paste.
Sauce Walker got a lot of systems set up to make him money, man.
That's what I'm saying. He pimping and doing all kinds of shit.
I was about to say, he probably got a pyramid scheme with them contracts, right? That's why you got to get 2 other artists before you can sign to my label.
I'm gonna pay you for your show when you get 2 more artists.
Yeah, exactly. To me, I don't know. We're in that age where you can't sign to an artist. I don't think it's wise to sign to any artist.
No.
Especially if they got more than 3 niggas on their level. Because you're gonna be whoever's new is gonna be the last one unless you randomly pop. And then it's so much shit that has gone wrong with an artist being on an artist label for a long period of time. It's just best to be on your team.
The Game is new now. The way the game is being navigated is new, and having an artist trying to navigate that for you versus a real deal business entity that's in the music business, that's you asking for trouble, asking for it. But shout out the game, man. Hope it happens for him. Next winner or loss, man, 5-year-old foreign. He got roasted. He had a new back tattoo. On that back tattoo, it says, "Stop talking behind my back." And the internet set a flame to his ass. Is that a winner or a loss, Nick?
That is a loss. Think about how intimate you got to be around this nigga to see that. Like you, like it's not like he's not like he put it on his face or anything, or on his wrist or on his arm or somewhere. You can see it through his like short sleeve. It's on his fucking back. So you literally have to be somewhere close to with his shirt off, which don't nobody want to be that close to 5-year-old forward. I'll tell you that right now. So for me, it's a loss because it's a wasted tag, and it's childish as fuck.
Bruh, first of all, he got it on his back like how David Banner got Mississippi across the back, bro. Like, bro, why putting a whole phrase across your back that nobody will ever see? Like, who are you talking to? Like, unless you're fucking gunplay in bed with Rick Ross, nigga, feed them grapes and watches when the shirt off, who's gonna see this, dude? Like, if you hadn't announced this, we would have never known, bro. Like, this nigga's not Diesel, so he's not just in videos with his shirt off and shit. So, like, what was the niggas be bored with the bread, dude? And niggas gotta find something to do. Get a hobby, bro.
I'm telling you, that's what it is.
This is some who hurt you, bro. Like, who hurt you, bro? Like, who are you talking to, man? Write that nigga a letter, man. Let's just call him, send him a text, bro. Like, who are you talking? You wouldn't got a whole tattoo for nothing, bro. Like, you put that online, and whoever you were talking to, they saw it, they gonna keep scrolling. Like, it was dumb. And the fact that you were engaged, I think he was engaged with people going back and forth that were actually telling him it was dumb. Yeah, like, this is
he tried to defend that shit, bro. Like, that's how you know he made a mistake.
Quit talking behind my back, on my back. Yeah, like, bro, stop. Like, what is
that's how you know he made a mistake, bro, because he was defending it, nigga. Hit dogs holler. You know that shit was goofy. If he could go back to last week, I promise he would, bro. It's a wrap, though. So
where is the sensible nigga in his crew that walked in and was like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? And just made him feel like you gotta have people like that in your crew, bro. You ain't gonna be successful. Like, it gotta be a nigga that told him before he got there, like, bro, that's some slaw.
That's a good point, Lou. That's a good point, Lou. You realize what teams or what artists don't have that Leroy in the room.
Yeah,
like, nigga, get the fuck out of here with that.
And you finna post it on, man, get out of here, bro. Let me call such and such, man. Look at this nigga, man, on FaceTime. Man, look at this nigga, bro. And he got a whole post about it. Like, man, get out of here, dude. He need that nigga in the room. All right, lastly, before we get out of here, man, your girl Cardi B, AB, she says properties are a headache. She got 9 tenants and ain't paid the rent, and she's worried about collecting from them. She says that getting properties for gifts is played out. She'd rather have a Birkin bag. AB, what say you? Is this a
She said she had a tenant that hasn't paid rent in 9 months. Now, if she had 9 tenants that weren't paying, then she would be absolutely on to something. But I'm going to assume that she has more than one tenant. I'm going to assume that. I don't know this to be fact, but she probably has more than one. So if you only have one that's not paying,
more than one. She spoke of more than one in the video clip.
Well, it's a risky business. I'm hoping whoever, I don't know if Envy put her on to the shit. I'm hoping he at least told her.
Cash out.
There's a possibility that niggas might not pay.
That's why. No wonder she don't have. No, that's okay. That makes all the sense in the world why she said
she went to Caesar, niggas, for no real estate advice.
God, no wonder.
So that's an L if she
whole time as we writing this all day. Yeah.
If she went to Caesar, that's an L. But she's always like Birkins, so I don't know why she fronting like she just discovered them now. And it's like, man, I should have just got some Birkins. Listen, it's all a W, man. You just rich people problems you're going through right now, dude. There's people in apartments, nigga, like, fuck you, car. They don't give a fuck about your tenants, dude. I'm paying this high ass apartment shit.
I'm the nigga that ain't paying the rent to you.
Yeah, I'm the nigga you talking about.
A lot of people reading the comments.
That's what me. That's why for me, this is an L for multiple reasons. One is, like you said, AB, is rich people problems. We could give a fuck. I wish somebody would give me land right now. What the fuck? Who turned that shit down? Who complains about that? And two, it shows that you are a horrible property manager. 9 months, nigga. 9 months. Lou, how arrogant would a nigga have to be like, all right, bet I'm gonna move in. I ain't gonna pay you till next year. What? Sexy Red about to have a baby. That's the last time the nigga Payday Red was Sexy Red. When Sexy Red was conceiving that little goblin that's about to come out. like, come on, bro. Like 9 months. That says a lot about you as a business person.
Agreed.
I love to live in your facilities, boy.
Keep making singles, doing all these songs, motherfuckers. That mean I know I ain't gotta pay next month. This took me by surprise because I'm surprised that she's that involved in it. She kept quoting everything that she had to do and how busy her and Offset were. So it seems as if you would have a property manager that runs this, bro. And when my property manager, like you said, Nick, when they come to me and be like, oh, these people haven't paid in 9 months. Okay, first, you're fired because you let them get away with it for 9 months. And I'm putting them out because I'm going to the courts today and I'm hiring a new property manager. It's that simple. Like, it ain't hard at all. It ain't nothing to worry about. I would still rather have land. Like, you just got some bad business set up, like one of y'all said. Like, this ain't hard to figure out. Cardi B wanting us to think that she is pulling up on people and collecting rent and making phone calls because people are late. Bitch, man, please, bro. Like, you got somebody that you're paying to do that. And if that somebody ain't giving me the rent every month, not 9 months later, I ain't got nothing from him, they fired too. Like, it's real simple. Like, I don't see how she's having a hard time unless you say like she's with Caesar and Envy, then it may be a totally different story.
As long as the property is not in LA, you should be good to get motherfuckers out of that shit. Now, if they in LA, then
you got a good property manager. Like, you can pay money for a good property manager, bro. I don't have to do anything but make sure the money is there at the end of the month.
That's
and if it's not, then we need to call. Like, I'm calling them, and then they dealing with it. And if they can't deal with it, they fired. It's that easy.
That's a fact.
Imagine having Cardi B as your landlord. That's a hilarious situation.
I wouldn't pay either if she was fired.
Facts.
Because that's how people are too. Because they go, if they know that she's directly associated with it, they're gonna be like, man, she got money. I ain't paying her.
And it's not gonna,
I ain't had a job. Yeah.
It's not gonna hit her radar until 9 months later. She probably just found out.
9 months later.
So that's an L. Man, look, on Decker of the Week, man, we going to YouTube. Shout out to D Williams 325. He commented on the last episode for All the Dogs review. He said, man, as far as the album, it's okay. I agree with Lou. We ain't heard that in a long time. Shout out to somebody agreeing with Lou. Post views, Drake is not putting in the effort. He's just trying to stack number ones and fulfill contracts. Remember the rumor that he had a $500 million deal a couple of years ago? Albums and concerts, I'm sure, are required for that, and I can hear it in the music. With this album, like the last several, I'll take a few songs I like, add it to the playlist. Sad someone of his stature is lacking in effort and subject matter and still doesn't have that universally recognized classic. D. Williams, let's stop the madness. Drake has like 4 classics universally recognized, at least by me.
No, it's not. No,
bars.
It's not.
D. Williams, you spent bars, straight facts, son. We appreciate you joining us. That was a great intro add to the show.
Drake has 2 classics.
That's minimum, though. 2. Which ones?
No. That's the max. It's obviously it's Take Care and So Far Gone. You could argue nothing was the same, but no. Views is just carried by one record. That's it.
Views a classic, bro.
No, it's not.
Views a classic.
No, it's not. Bro.
Views is a classic, bro.
No, it's not. And in what way?
Listen to it, bro.
I've listened to it. It's a good album. It's a really good album.
It set the tone for music for like 10 years after that. Everybody was trying to make shit like that.
No, that's what Take Care did.
I think. Yeah, that's Take Care. Views was just like it was already happening. That Afrobeat stuff was already popping way before that.
The Afrobeats ain't well.
I think if you're reading
you got I was gonna say, Lou, you got to step out of Nashville, right? You got to go outside. Nigga, you can't just be inside thinking views come like the Afro. That's when Afrobeats came into Lou's life. He was like, oh shit, this shit crazy.
I was down here for views. I was in Atlanta for views, but shout out to Nashville, man. Homecoming just passed.
Hey, man. Nah, niggas gotta put some respect on Drake catalog. If you're reading this, it's too late. I could argue it's a classic, and I could argue
stop.
I could argue the joint with him and Future was a classic, nigga. That got impact and everything, dude. Are y'all serious? That was a moment, big moment. What a time!
I ain't giving.
Y'all niggas tripping. And clean y'all ears out, man. Guys, put on time though, man. What you got to put me on, Lou?
I just downloaded Rich Paul's new book, Lucky Me. I'm on chapter 10. Solid listen, man. You know the complaint that we always have, AB, man. Rich Paul is reading it, so prepare yourself for that. But
Mm.
it's a solid book, man. If you can get over Rich Paul reading it, I like it gives you a lot of. I could see Rich Paul, the agent, now that I've heard about his younger life and how he grew up and stuff like that. It makes a lot of sense. I'm rooting for him. It makes you like him a lot more. And I guess him telling the story is what they were trying to get at with him reading it. But
Yeah.
please, man, y'all hire professionals, please.
I agree.
For people that listen to audio books, hire professionals to read it, bro. It ain't gonna take nothing away from it, Rich. I promise you it's not.
It ain't.
But overall, it's called Lucky Me, and it's a good book.
Unless you Morgan Freeman, bro, hire somebody to read your shit. If you're not
Yes,
him,
please.
I'll let that slide, nigga, but that's about it. Hey, Rich Paul was at that event I went to Saturday too, man. He had the very last panel. I didn't make it till then. I'm hot about that because they were late as fuck. But I definitely wanted to see that. And he probably would have signed some books. So I know you said download. He probably got the digital joint or the audio joint. Yeah. But he was probably there signing books and shit. That would have been kind of dope. I got that to you late as fuck too.
Yeah, you did. I wish you hadn't got to me earlier in the week. I would have went to it.
That shit was dope.
How was that?
That shit was dope, man. It was kind of Unlock 404. The agency, the talent agency, is it CTA or whatever. They just opened up an office in Atlanta, and they're looking for a whole bunch of media talent and all that type of shit. So it was them kind of like their coming out party or whatever the fuck. I don't know, but it was good. They'll do it again next year, man. I highly recommend. Nick, what you got to put me on, bro?
I was gonna mention the Rich Paul thing. I should have hit up Lewis, say like what you got. But I was gonna say, I don't know if you may have. I know AB, you watch a lot of TV too. The Continental on Peacock, the prequel to the John Wick series and all that. It's only 3 episodes. They're somewhat like the, if you ever watch like a BBC show and stuff like that, like they're like a 3-episode season. I knew you was gonna say that. This is for people who actually watch TV, Lou. Get your ass, get your mind out the gutter, nigga. I'm talking about the British shows. British shows have short seasons. They be like 3 episodes a season or whatever, and they be like an hour or something long. That's kind of how this is shot and done, but it's action packed. It's actually pretty dope. It's the prequel, so it's showing like how the hotel that John Wick is at, like how it became what it is and shit like that. So if y'all into that type of shit, go check it out.
Luther first season was like it, 3 episodes.
Yeah.
No doubt. Man, I'm gonna put on something that kind of dropped under the radar, in my opinion. It was overshadowed by the BET Awards, but the Rap City documentary, the 3-part series, was fire. Like, I thought that shit was super dope, and I'm mad it didn't really get that much press. BET has been doing a good job with their documentaries, with the Rough Riders and the No Limits, and all those shits have been pretty dope. And the Murder Inc. was real good. The Rap City shit was a must-see, in my opinion. It was a collab with Mass Appeal and BET. They did a great job taking it back. They had all the hosts, everybody, and they did it in a linear timeline of, from beginning to end. That shit was really dope. Brought back a lot of memories. Very well done. Everyone participated. So it wasn't like, damn, nigga, where's Tig at? Or no, it wasn't none of that. Like, every host was there, present and accounted for. And they talked about how they came up with the name, when they decided to switch the set. If you care about shit like that, like the production and the, how it came to be, I highly recommend watching that shit. Very dope, dog. And the good throwback clips and shit. I was pleasantly surprised.
What is it on?
Check that out, man.
It's on BET Plus?
Nah, it's on regular BET.
What is it on? Oh, okay.
Yeah. I that's a good call out, AB, because I was thinking about that too. That was a great time, like, in hip hop, having that show and how legendary it was. And I feel like because the fact that it went under the radar is the disappointment, because I thought it was going to be like, we're going to market this all year. This is our biggest thing, especially since it's original content too. But yeah, it just came and went, unfortunately. But that's a good thing to check out.
They put it out before the awards. So I was like, what the fuck is it? Why would you do that? You're supposed to premiere it after the awards and make it like a big deal. Like, I don't know. I thought that was they dropped the ball with that shit, but it was fire.
Yep. Hey, man. Well, that's how we do it. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. That's another episode in the books. Nick, we appreciate you as always, man. It's an open seat for you. Anytime you want to slide, man, just stop the Drake slander and you'll be good.
I like the album. I thought outside of the goofy drawing by the son for the cover art, I like the album, bro. I really did. I think Lou Hayden Because I told him at that hip hop too. I fucked with it. It was his best project in a while for me. But he just, I'm curious to see where he goes from here. I mean, I was a Drake fan early on. It's just I expect a lot of my artists because unfortunately Kanye has set the bar of like, you need to reinvent yourself. You need to switch things up. You need to change up. You need to grow with your audience. And I don't feel like Drake has done that consistently. So that's the only critique I have of him. Outside that, he can make good music. I just know he can make better music.
Nah, that's fair.
First person shooter song, and then it's the Adonis song. Don't talk to my man.
Don't talk to my man like that.
Don't sleep. Hey, that Rich Baby Daddy is gonna be a hit. That should be a hit. I can't wait till they outside again and they play that shit.
Congratulations to Sexy Red for being pregnant and being able to take a break, man. So hopefully they can't push this record. And
that's crazy.
To Rich Baby Daddy.
You know, she coming out on stage with a big ass belly like Rihanna did. She will come out like that.
She finna still be twerking with the 9-month stomach, dude. That's gonna be crazy.
We don't want that. Hey man, but again, man, much salute to you, man, on the move. Congrats on the play. Definitely rooting for you, man. Again, anytime you want to pull up, come through and slide. Sir. Where can people find you on socials, or where can they find you on content, all that good shit?
I'm usually Dolo, but you can find me on Twitter, WESISI number 11. Just you can reach out to me there. But I'm always on FPS stuff, Frames Per Second podcast. I'm usually doing their socials. I'm on the Reddit threads as well. FPS podcast is for the Reddit thread. Check out also us on YouTube. We do live shows, live reviews, or just content anywhere. FPS podcast on YouTube.
I'm in that Scorsese joint this weekend. Please believe it. Absolutely. Hey man, anything else before we get out of here, man? YouTube.com/OnTheTV Show, IG/OnTheTV Show. Anything else before we get out of here?
That's it, man. We appreciate y'all joining us.
Yes, sir. We out.